Hey guys, we are on page 323 and 324. On this page, on 323, we'll be doing number 1, A, B, C, and D, number 2, letter B, number 3, letter C, number 4, letter A, and then on the next page we'll be doing number 6, all those measurements. I'm not going to do that one with you. And then I also want us to do the brain booster, which I will do with you when we're finished with page 323. So let's go ahead and look at page 323. It says we are doing short division, which sounds like it should be easy. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So just looking at this first problem, this is just letter A. It's 27 divided by 3. If I know my 3 multiplication tables really well, I can count up by 3s, and I can get to 27. So I can figure out what 3 times, how many times 3 will go into 27. So go ahead and tell me, see if you can write it down before I tell you, what is 27 divided by 3? Well, let's count by 3s together. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. How many times was that counting by 3s? 9 times. So I'm going to say 3 will go into 27 9 times. Make sure you put your 9 above your 7, and you're done. And especially since there's no remainders. Let's look at the next one, letter B, 5 into 40. So we have 40 divided by 5. If I count by 5, so I can figure that out. Go ahead and write your answer. See if we get the same answer. 40 divided by 5. Well, let's count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. How many was that? Right, we counted by 5 8 times. So we're going to say 5 will go into 40 8 times. So 40 divided by 5 is 8. Make sure you put your 8 above your 0 in your 40. Let's do letter C next. So we have 4 right here. We said 4 will go into 26. Now, here it might get a little bit tricky. Here. So let's think about this. If I count by 4s, I'm going to go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. I just passed 26. So here's what we're going to do. I know how many times 4 will go into 26. 28 is too big, so below that would be 24. 4 times what equals 24? 4 times 6. So I'm going to say 4 will go into 26 6 times. But here's the thing, it doesn't go into 26 evenly. It's going to have some left over. So if I have 4 times 6, that'd be 24. And 24, how many do I have to count up from 24 to get to 26? I have 24, 25, 26. That's 2. So my remainder is going to be 2. Okay? Try to do these in your head as much as possible. We've been doing this kind of division for so long now. We're at the end of the year. We should be able to do these in our head without really thinking about it. It should be snap, snap, snap to us. Okay? It might, you might not be getting it right away, but you should be able to look at it and know I can figure this out in my head without writing anything down right now. And we've been able to do that, as you can see. We can go 4 into 26 6 times with remainder 2. So let's go and look at the next one as well. We have 6 into 39. Well, already in my head, I said to myself, 6 times 6 is 36. Well, if I do 6 times 7, it's 42. If I go to 42, it's already too big. So I'm going to stick with 6 times 6. So I have 6 will go into 39 how many times? 6 times. Put the 6 above the 9. And now I have 6 times 6 is 36. If I start at 36 and count up, how much do I have to count up before I get to 39? Well, let's count. We have 36, 37, 38, 39. That's 3 times. So I'm going to put my remainder as 3. So make sure you have those written down. Let's go ahead and look at number 2 now. Now, I know for this problem, in the book, they don't have this red line drawn above these first 2 digits like they have been doing. So if you want to draw a line, it might help you to do that. But let's go ahead and do this problem. Again, I'm not looking at 60 into 183 right off the bat. I'm going to start by just looking at this tens place right here. So this tens place of this number is 6. And I'm going to look at these first 2 digits right here. So that 18 instead of 1. Of course, I know that 60 will go into 1 0 times, so put a 0 right there, just for starters. So how many times will 6 go into 18? That might give me a better idea, okay? 6 into 18, well, I know that 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, and 6 times 3 is 18. Let's go ahead and write that. I know 6 will go into 18 3 times. So I'm not doing 6 into 18 right here though. I'm doing 60 into 18. So you can't just write a 3 above the 8 because we're not going 60 into 18. 60 is bigger than 18, so it's going to go into 18 0 times. So we need to write that above my 8 as well to show that 6 will go into 8 0 times. But I can do 60 into 183. When I'm doing 60 into 183, it seems like really big numbers, but if I break them down into little pieces, I can do it. So we're doing 60 into 183, but I'm thinking of it as 6 into 18. So I said 6 will go into 18 3 times, so I can make a guess. 60 will go into 183 based on what we did before, the 6 into 18. We can say that 60 will go into 183 probably about 3 times. So let's try it. 3 is going to go above the 3. 3 times 60. Well, let's write that over here. We have 60 times 3. 3 times 0 is 0. And 3 times 6 is 18. So we have 180. So let's write that over here. I'm going to erase these lines. We have 180 from over here. Gets written right over here. So we have 183 minus 180. 3 minus 0 is 3. 8 minus 8 is 0, and 1 minus 1 is also 0. So my answer down here that I have left over is 3. Is 3 smaller than 60? Absolutely. So I'm going to say that my remainder is 3. So your answer is 3 with a remainder of 3. I know that some of these things that we've been going over, you're probably struggling with them, and I completely understand that because I'm just making a video going over it and explaining it, and you can't ask me questions while I'm explaining it, and I can't see, oh, so-and-so's, not getting this, maybe I can ask them or, explain it a little bit further or in a different way. So I understand that sometimes some of the things that I do on the video or that I say on the video or that like I write on the board on the video don't make sense. I get it, I understand. But when we come back next week, you might start writing some of these things down that you don't understand. I don't know how to do the 2-digit multiplication. I don't know how to do 2-digit division. I'm kind of struggling with averaging. I'm struggling with multiplying, like for example, maybe this problem, like a 3-digit number multiplied by a 2-digit number. I know that these are kind of big things, and we've been doing it over the video, so it's kind of a little bit harder to learn. So if you are struggling with these things, start writing some of these things down that you're struggling with. Even in other subjects like language, I'm thinking, because some of those things might also be a little bit difficult as well, like with a dictionary. But especially in math, I know math sometimes can be a really, really hard subject if you're not there with me or if I'm not there with you helping you to learn. So, like I said, maybe make a list of some of the things that you're struggling with a little bit, and then next week when we're actually in the classroom, in school, we'll do a lot of review so that we can make sure that we get these things down. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one next. This is, I believe, number 3, letter C, which is what we're doing. So we have 2 times 7, first of all. Like I said, we're going to pretend like that 5 is not there. And we're just going to do 437 times 2, just like we've done since, the beginning of the year. Well, not beginning, but like more towards the beginning of the year. We know how to do this. So 2 times 7 is 14. Carry the 1. 4 goes down here. 2 times 3 is next. 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus the 1 right here is 7. I don't have any carried numbers, so don't worry about that. Then I'm going to do 2 times the 4 over here. 2 times the 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So I'm going to go ahead and write 8. There's no carried numbers, so I don't have to worry about that. Now the next thing I need to do, what number gets written right here underneath this 4? Right, 0. 0 gets written down there. 0 is written here. Then we're doing 5 times 7. 5 times 7. We're going to multiply this 5 times 437. We're going to start 5 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35. Cross out the 1 up here and put 3. And then 5 goes down here. All right. 5 times what next? Right, 5 times 3. 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. And then we have a 3 up here that got carried. So 15 plus 3 is 18. 1 gets put right there, and 8 is put down here. Next is 5 times 4. 5 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus the 1 is 21. Very good. Put a line right there, and we're going to add these two numbers together. Just these two. 4 plus 0 is 4. 7 plus 5 is 12. 1 gets written up here. Carry my 1. We know 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus the 1 is 17. 7 gets written here. 1 gets carried. 1 plus 1 is 2. That's easy. And then 2 plus nothing, of course, is 2. Make sure you're putting a comma. Where do we put a comma in this number? Right? We're going 1, 2, 3 digits and then a comma. So my answer is 22,724. Something I did notice when I was grading your test from this last week, you have, like for number 4, it says 3/4, 4 dimes, and 6 pennies. A lot of you on your test, you put what maybe 3/4 was equal to, and what 4 dimes is equal to, and what 6 pennies is equal to, but what you did not do on your test was add them together, and that's what it says, find the amount. Find the amount. Well, the amount of what? The amount of all those coins. Like if you had 3/4 and 4 dimes and 6 pennies, what is the amount of money that you have? And that's what you were supposed to be finding out in the test. So make sure you're doing number 4. You're finding the amount of money, and you're finding the amount of money, like what is 3/4, what is 4 dimes, what is 6 pennies, but you're also finding out how much money that is, and that's why you're adding it together like that. So make sure you're doing that. And then we're looking over on page 324 at the Brain Booster. Okay, this is my Brain Booster right here. You may notice I have something missing from this. I have 3 yards plus 4 feet plus 24 inches equals blank what? Well, what's supposed to be written there? Look in your book. Page 324. It's supposed to say equals blank feet. So let's put the feet down. FT is feet. And let me just rewrite this addition sign over here. So we have 3 yards plus 4 feet plus 24 inches. Well, this is in yards, and this is in feet, and this is in inches. I can't just add my yards, feet, and inches together like that. I have to make them all one unit. They have to either all be yards, they have to all be feet, or they have to all be inches. So which one do you think I'm going to do to make them all even? Well, I have to look at the very last thing on this in this row or in this equation. So the last thing I have is equals blank feet. So what does my final answer have to be in? Right, my final answer has to be in feet. So I want you to take write the final equation, so rewrite equals blank feet, and then whichever one of these is already in feet, you need to rewrite. So which one do you need to rewrite? 3 yards, 4 feet, or 24 inches? Right, 4 feet is already in feet, so that needs to be rewritten. So what you should have, go ahead and write your plus sign for feet, maybe another plus sign, and then your equals blank feet. That should all be rewritten. And the only thing that we have left is I have to change my yards and I have to change my inches. So let's go ahead and do that. Underneath here, we're going to write blank feet, and you could even box that because we're going to have to change it. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing, blank feet, and we're going to box that as well. So underneath your 2 boxes, you can go ahead and write your steps 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3 over here, and 1, 2, 3 over here. So now I have over here 3 yards is being changed to feet. So I'm going from yards to feet, yards to feet. When I'm going from yards to feet, am I going larger to smaller and multiply? Over here. Am I going from larger to smaller to multiply, or am I going from smaller to larger and dividing? Which one of those 2 am I doing? I'm going from yards to feet. Which one is bigger? Well, a yard is bigger. Yard is bigger. So I'm going from larger to smaller. So I'm going to do what? I'm going to multiply. So go ahead and put that. Multiply. And then number 2, I'm multiplying because I'm going larger to smaller. Number 2, my special number. How many yards are in a foot? How many yards are in a foot? Well, I know based on the measurements, things I've been doing the last couple days, or you should know, that there are 3. Well, there's not how many yards are in a foot, there's how many feet are in a yard. I'm sorry, I misspoke. How many feet are in a yard? Feet are in a yard, not yards in a foot. That doesn't make sense. Feet in a yard. There are 3 feet in a yard. So I'm going to put my special number down here, 3. And then I'm going to take whatever number is in this box up here, is 3. I'm going to do step 1, multiply. Step 2, by my special number, equals 3 times 3, we all know, of course, is 9. So 9 goes up here in my box. But I'm not done because I still have the same steps over here that I need to do. I already did these, so I don't have to worry about doing this anymore. I already did this work. I'm not going to erase it, just leave it there. Move on over here and do the same steps. So let's go ahead. We have 24 inches equals blank feet. So I'm going to have step 1, larger to smaller, we multiply, or smaller to larger, we divide. Which one are we going to do? Which one? We have inches and feet. Which one is bigger, an inch or a foot? Well, a foot is definitely bigger, so I'm going to go from smaller to larger. Smaller to larger. I guess you can't see that. Smaller to larger. I guess you can see that, but it's backwards. It's okay. So I'm going to go smaller to larger. I'm going to divide. Step 2, I'm going to have my special number. My special number, how many inches are in a foot? Well, we should definitely know that. There are how many inches in a foot? 12. 12. So let's put that special number down. And then we're going to do the math. Step 3, I'm going to take my number in the box. Or my number in the box up here is 24. So 24, I'm going to do my step 1, divide, and then step 2, 12 equals, so 24 divided by 12, 24 divided by 12. Well, 24 divided by 12, if we, I guess we don't count by 12, but we know that 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. So I'm going to say 24 divided by 12 is 2. Just like over here it was 9. So 2 is going to go in my blank. And now I only need to do the math. So let's go ahead over here. We have 9 plus 4 plus 2. Well, 9, if I could write these so they could be seen, plus 2. 9 plus 4 plus 2. Add those together. 9 plus 4 is, let's see, I believe it's 13, 14, 15. So that would be 15 right here. And that means my answer over here would be 15 feet. Make sure that's written down. And this should be your answer. Make sure you have all of this work written down too. You need all of this work written down.